Hi foodie friends, Jessica here with Savory Experiments. Today we are making one of my favorite holiday cookies. Are you looking for a new cookie for your cookie platter or a cookie exchange? I have one that you and your friends have probably never heard of. They are orange cardamom cookies. And in my opinion, black cardamom is a spice that more people should cook with. It has amazing pungent flavor and a very loud flavor profile that tastes great with sweet things like orange, citrus, and of course, sugar. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you get delicious recipes every Wednesday. Let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is sift together our dry ingredients. And if we're being honest with each other, when I first started baking, I did not sift things together. I just threw it all in the wet stuff. Like, well, what's the difference? What harm could it have? Well, I ended up with a couple of pockets of salt in a cake once, and then areas were bubbling up where they shouldn't have been, and I realized that it actually is pretty important to sift your ingredients. The first reason is that everything gets evenly incorporated, and the second reason is that it breaks up any big clumps of flour or other dry ingredients that you're using. I am measuring my flour, and as you can see here, I'm using a spoon to lightly fluff it into a cup. I'm using 1 3/4 cup flour and then leveling it off with a flat knife. I am a lazy baker, which means that I don't measure the ingredients, so this is kind of that halfway point. We have 1/4 teaspoon of coarse kosher salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda. It's going to give it that loft and little air pockets to make them nice and springy, and 1 teaspoon of black cardamom. Kind of looks like pepper, and in my head it kind of tastes peppery too, but a little bit less peppery. That makes absolutely no sense, but if you've had cardamom, it makes perfect sense. So throw it on in there. And then I like the crank sifter here. The ones that do this, they make my hands get really tired fast. This one goes faster too. Okay, you might have a few little small pieces at the bottom. In our case, it's a couple of pieces of really coarse salt. Just discard that. You don't need that in your cookies. No one wants to bite into a crunch of salt unless it's like a fleur de sel, right? Okay, set this aside and let's get started on the wet ingredients. Okay, so we are on to our wet ingredients for these orange cardamom cookies. We have 3/4 cup unsalted butter. Again, people don't usually cream their butter and their sugar quite properly. Sometimes the butter is too hard and then it clumps around and slops in the bowl with the sugar, and that's no good. We are looking for soft butter that can easily meld with the sugar so that it's fluffy, creamy, and gets even a shade lighter when they're combined. I'm gonna go put in equal amounts of sugar, so this is 3/4 cup sugar, and use my new, whoops, wasn't that funny? Get that guy in there. Oh, they're the wrong ones. See, even when you do this professionally, sometimes you do it wrong. Okay, wrong side. We're ready to go. This is my new hand mixer. Absolutely love it. It's a Breville, but it has a funny little light that comes on. So if you ask me, why is your cookie dough looking a funny color? This is why, so you can see what you're doing. Okie dokie. We have creamed together our butter and sugar. It's light, it's fluffy, it's not as gritty as it was before, not as sandy. And now we're gonna add the rest of our wet ingredients. We have 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of orange juice. This is fresh orange juice. You can also use orange extract if you really wanna have a bold, robust orange flavor, or you can up the amount of orange zest that you use. Another option is to take out that orange juice and use vanilla extract instead if you want to tone it down a notch and just kind of have an orange essence. Orange zest gives a really pure citrus flavor without the tartness that you get from juice, whereas juice adds a little bit of that citrusy tart note that makes you go. So having them both gives very distinct but different orange flavors in cookies. Please use the orange zest. If you're gonna use just one of those, that's really the one that gives the most flavor. And these are cookies, they're sweet, so you don't want as much of the tart. If you're using the extract, use just 1 full teaspoon of vanilla or orange extract. 1 navel orange usually equals about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of zest. Doesn't matter how much you use, 1 to 2 is probably what I would go for. I mean, if you're going really orangey, go for 2 to 3. Okay, got most of that off there. I'll use the rest of this orange for orange slices for my kids. Tap off that color. That orange color is also going to come through in those cookies, give it a really good punch. Okay, mix that in. Okay, doesn't need to be perfect. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells like a Sunday morning, like a mimosa bar. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Fresh orange juice. Okay, start adding in our dry ingredients. This is a pretty wet, sticky dough. In fact, we're gonna chill it for a little while. So you can do half and another half, but the trick to cookies that are not dry is not to over mix them. It activates the gluten, it lets more air in, and it makes them dry and brittle. So we're gonna do 1 of the dry ingredients, blend it until it's just blended, do the rest of it, and then at the end, we're even just gonna fold it by hand. Make sure we don't get a flour bomb going off there, right? I still do that. I know better and I still do it. Okay, just mixed. Let's add the rest in there. Okay, there we go. This is the only tricky part of the recipe. And see how sticky this dough is? I don't know if you can see how sticky it is. It's kind of loose. It's supposed to be that way. Had a lot of people come back, be like, the dough is too loose, it's too sticky. It's supposed to be loose and sticky. We are going to try as best we can to form it into a log of cookie dough because these are not just regular cookies, they are slice and bake cookies. Let me get as much off of these beaters as I can. Okay, and now we all know what I do. The next step is taste the batter, because you always judge a cookie by the batter. Yeah, I know, everybody's out there going, oh, the raw flour, oh, the raw egg. I haven't died yet, I'm fine. Okay, scrape down the sides, make sure all that flour gets in there. Smells so good. I hope you make it just so that your kitchen smells like this. Okay, take a piece of plastic wrap, a little bit bigger than you think you need. Move all this stuff out of the way. Woo! That left an orange trail all the way across my white counter. Of course, my saran wrap isn't gonna work with me today, is it? It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Get it? Okay, so again, wet dough, kind of hard to work with, but we're gonna do our best. Plop it down just in the center, and we're gonna use the spatula to help us form it. And then after it's chilled and hardened, we can, ooh, break my bowl too. We can help form it into a better, rounder cookie. Okay, so spread it out just like that. Okay, so we roll it over like this. We gently roll it in, tuck it over. Okay. Go like this, get all the air out, fold it in. Sometimes there's little ridges in the side. Again, don't worry about that. We'll take care of that on the other end. I usually do 2 rounds of this cookie dough torpedo, if you will. Okay. Okay. Cookie dough torpedo, ready for the fridge. You can put it in the freezer if you want, but really I like the fridge. It gives the more uniform chill throughout. I do it at least overnight. You can do it up to 8 hours, but overnight is best. And I'll see you when this is done. Okay, we have our torpedo of cookie dough here. I'm going to roll it while it's hard, like this, and it'll go into a more perfect round slice and bake type of shape. And then unroll it. There are a couple of creases, it's fine. These cookies do spread a little bit. They're more of a thin cookie, not a thick, poofy cookie. Up there. Still a little sticky, it's okay. Get rid of all this. Oh, cookie dough down, you know what happens. Judge every dessert by its dough. We're gonna cut these into a 1/4 inch slice. I'm just making approximations here, and put them onto a parchment lined baking sheet. They don't have to be perfect. Again, I told you they're gonna spread a little bit, so if they're a little bit more oval than they are round, that's okay. They're still a little bit sticky, also okay. Probably made these more like a 1/2 inch thick, so they're gonna be a little bit thicker, but it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. There we go. We're gonna put these in a 375-degree oven for about 10 minutes. Let them cool for a few minutes before putting them on a wire rack to finish cooling. Remember, if you keep them on the hot cookie sheet for too long, they'll continue to cook, which means you're gonna have an overcooked, brittle, dry cookie, and I like my cookies nice and soft. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so our cookies are out of the oven, they've cooled, and I bet you're noticing that they are perfectly round, and I told you that they were going to spread. Well, they do spread a little bit. But I am going to give you a trick for any cookie, not just these, to make them perfectly round. Don't tell anybody you heard it here, because food stylists everywhere are going to kill me for telling you. Take either a very large biscuit cutter or a pint glass, and when the cookies come out, kind of tuck in the edges around the glass, right? And then go like this and circle it around. You can even cut off some of the edges, and when you circle it, no one will ever know that you've cut off some of the burnt edges. You're gonna have perfectly round cookies. Aren't they beautiful? Use that for chocolate chip cookies, sugar cookies, just about any kind of cookie, as long as it's going to be a round cookie. Again, didn't hear that here. Have a great day from my kitchen to yours.